Taxi vlog 267, in which I get a bit lucky, or in which I got lucky, depending on how you look at it. As you know, or may already know if you've been watching these things, I had a 3-day weekend because this thing was in the paint shop on Monday, and I guess it was drying all night Monday night and Tuesday night, or who knows what, but the car was ready on Tuesday night, and I got into it on its first shift as a green car. I'll insert a little walk around right about here. Okay, as promised, here is a view of the paint job that was just done of the car. There are some flaws and imperfections. As you can see, it's screaming green. I hope you can see this part. Yeehaw! And we get the rear 3/4 view. Well, at least they got the phone number right on it. Okay. A decal on the bumper. I don't know if that's a good idea. Anyway, it's almost, you know, it's just greener than yellow. Yeah, so that's what it looks like right now. That was taken as soon as we got the car on Tuesday. And so I came to work, I came out here, and you know, I was kind of goofy that Tuesday night. I'd do things like, you know, forget to turn the meter on with customers in the car, and there's one time we were just talking, and I drove right past the place I was supposed to drop off at. And then, you know, I mentioned to a few people who were in here that the car smelled like, you know, the car was just in the paint shop, and they say, oh yeah, it does smell like paint, like drying paint. I don't know if they didn't put it in, you know, that booth where they, you know, where they bake the paint on. I don't know if it was left to dry without baking, but it would appear so, because I can still smell some of it now, and it's Friday. Now, the part that may have made me goofy is that it was like sniffing glue. You know, all of those volatiles in the paint went up my nose and sort of malfunctioned my brain. So that would explain probably why I was goofy on that Tuesday night. Anyway, as far as Tuesday nights go, it went pretty good. I took about $100 home, which I wasn't expecting much more than that. And it was okay. Tuesday night started off pretty good. Yeah, I mean, that was Tuesday. Now we're Wednesday night. Wednesday night started off pretty good, and it went okay until about midnight, where I had my lease on and my fuel on, and at one point during that night I was sent to Walmart to pick up this young First Nations couple. And every second word that the guy was saying was fucking. Put the fucking groceries in the fucking trunk. Let's fucking go to the fucking house. This is my fucking address. And I say, alright, fuck, we'll fucking go there, fuck. He didn't catch on that I was humoring him. His wife, for some reason, got offended. It's like, you know, when we were unloading the groceries, she said, "Don't swear at me." And I felt like saying, "Babe, I talk to people the way they talk to me. You know, if it makes them see how ludicrous they sound, then good." Well, we fucking got them to their fucking destination, got rid of their fucking groceries out of the fucking trunk, and that was the fucking end of it. That night was funny in that way, because I had a couple other people that were acting a bit off. I don't know, it was maybe because we got some rain for the first time in the summer. Anyway, the weather was a little off, so maybe people were a little funny. After midnight, it slowed down considerably, and at one point on that Wednesday night, I was sitting in the parking lot reading my book because I had looked at all the YouTube videos already. Speaking of which, they changed my subscription page. It used to be that I would have 4 videos across the top, and then a second row of 4 videos, and a third row of 4 videos, and a fourth row of 4 videos. Now it's all column. It's a column. It's one video, and I want to go back to the earliest video in my subscriptions that I didn't look at yet. And on one of my channels, I'm subscribed to a horoscope guy. And of course, the horoscope guy puts up all 12 signs of the zodiac. So he's got 12 videos for every one that somebody else puts up. So I have to go through like 12 videos to get back to the earliest video I didn't watch on that channel before him. And he has this habit of putting out the 12 videos for the 12 signs of the zodiac every week, and he does a monthly thing where once a month he does a look ahead for, you know, for the next month for 12 signs of the zodiac. So it's like I gotta wade through 24 videos in single file in a column to get to the earliest videos that I didn't watch that I'm subscribed to. YouTube, you suck. I never said it before, but this time you mess things up too much. I have not had my subscriptions page tampered with since it went from 5 across to 4 across. Now 4 across I could handle, but a single column going down? Oi! I have to do all this scrolling just to see what I want to see. End of rant. I got sent to the Peeler Bar, one of the few places in the part of town that I like to work that is somewhat disagreeable, because you know, you got people who've been looking at naked women and drinking a lot of drinks and then coming out of there drunk and stupid. Well, I got sent there for someone, and I had the guy's particular name and his phone number right on my MDT. So I go there, and of course, if I'm not busy, no one else is busy. So there were 4 cabs from a competing fleet sitting there in that parking lot, and it's their stand. They pay to sit there in front of the Peeler Bar. Why anyone would want to sit in front of a Peeler Bar or sit in front of a bar of any kind is beyond me. But I got sent to the bar, and I was a little desperate because I haven't had a fare for an hour. So I went down there, and those guys are all in line. There's one next to one behind the other. There's 4 of them there. The lead car is a van. Well, I was sent to the place, so I pull up right to the door, and I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to phone the guy whose name called. He doesn't answer his phone. But there's a guy standing there, and he gives me the 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute several times, while he and his 2 buddies are talking to 3 girls. Gives me the 1 minute thing. Some guy who's just blitzed out of his tree stumbles out of the door and sees my cab, so he comes up to me And of course my window's open a little bit, and he says, "Hey, homie." Now, first of all, nigga, don't play that game. I'm not nobody's homie. Well, he's about to open the back door and get in my car when the guy in the van gets out. He says, "Did you call?" The guy says, "Well, no, you did not call. You do not get in that taxi." Okay. So the guy doesn't get in the taxi and he stumbles back to the wall. Now the driver of that car gets up to me and says, "What you doing here, stealing my fare?" I said, "I was not stealing your fare. I was dispatched here." "You are stealing my fare. You should be on the street, not in this parking lot." I said, "Fuck off, buddy. I was sent here. Here's where I go. I find my customer." Well, he backed off. And I'm being sent on a call. And I don't really want to do it because it's out of my way. There you go. I don't want to have to turn around in traffic and have to go there. And besides, I'm in the middle of a vlog. I'm in the middle of a story here. So anyway, after I told that guy to fuck off, he sort of convinced the guy who was leaning on the wall to get into his cab and said, "Are you needing taxi?" And the guy says, "I just want to go home, man. I don't want to fight with nobody." So he's tooting his horn a little bit to get the people standing in front of his car to leave. And he fucks off. He drives away. Good. I'm rid of that putz. Now, the guy who was giving me the 1 minute, he gives me the 1 minute again, and then he gets in the passenger seat, and 2 of the 3 girls he was talking with get in the back. And one of the 3rd girl that's out there is trying to convince those girls not to go with him. Why, I don't know. But she's creeped out because the guy's 2 buddies are hitting on her. Anyway, it turns out that they end up getting out of the car, and that's the end of that. They're gone. Well, then I drive away because I don't need those people anyhow. I go back to my parking lot and sit another hour and get another short little fare and do that short little fare. Let's book this song, shall we? I do that short little fare and get another couple of fares, and then towards the end of the night, I guess it's about 4 o'clock, I get the junkie, one of my regular customers who happens to be a junkie, and maybe she's a hooker. Anyway, I know that she does drugs. She maybe deals in them too. But she always gets in, and she always pays, and she even tips sometimes. So that was good. And with her, you know, it's typically a $20 fare. This time it was a $25 fare. So I finished my Wednesday night taking home about another $100, roughly, more or less, give or take. Something like that. So I went home, and so drank a couple of gin and tonics. I found this really good tonic water. It's called Fever Tree, and it tastes real good with the Bombay Sapphire, I tell you. I think I'm going to have 2 more of those when I get home in the morning. I still got half a bottle of the gin. You know, even though I'm a whiskey drinker, I do appreciate a good gin and tonic. Does that make me old? Does that make me British? I don't know. But I enjoyed that. So next thing, you know, after waking up from the gin and tonics, and I didn't really feel much like working last night, which was the Thursday. I sort of dragged my ass through the shower and got dressed and had dinner, which was really good. It was shrimp. Cindy made shrimp, giant shrimp. And they went really well with some tomatoes and avocados, believe it or not. with balsamic vinegar and, you know, stuff like that. It was a nice meal. But, you know, I digress. So I came to work. I really didn't feel like working. I got sent to a gas station. Picked up this guy at the gas station. How you doing? 154 Sims. Oh. Yeah, one of those, eh? Didn't much want to talk to me. I just got him, asked him, do you have a preference which way we take to get there? And he says, the shortest. Oh, well, gee. How pleasant. The next one was a little old lady at a grocery store. She had 5 bags of groceries, and she had a walker. She was walking really slowly, so I put her 5 bags of groceries in the trunk, and I put her walker. No, she had a cane. She wasn't a walker. The walker was later, I think. Anyway, she had a cane, and she said, can you help me get my groceries in the door? And I said, well, as long as you have a key for the door, you get the door open and I'll put those groceries inside there. She said, oh, thank you, and she was really appreciative. And as soon as I got back in the car, I got another call, and it was to the Ocean Point Resort. There's a young lady there in her late 20s, early 30s. She's got her travel bag. It's not one of those really big monster travel bags, but you know, one of those bags with wheels on it, sort of like a smaller one. And I put her bag in the trunk, and she says, take me to the airport. And we had a pleasant drive out there. I was talking about vacations and camping and wildlife, and talking about my most recent vacation, basically, and it was a pleasant drive out there. She wanted a receipt for $60. She got a receipt for $60. I took the $60 cash and came back into town. And I was doing a few $10 and $15 fares, and they were going good. They were going smooth. And then I had a chance to look at a few videos. I was sitting in a parking lot, and I got sent to a street not far from where I was sitting. I went to that street, and it said on the second page of the MDT that it would be a woman outside. So I get to the front of the building. I don't see anyone outside. In the alleyway, I see this First Nations woman. I don't know what it was about First Nations people this week, but they were drinking a little more than usual, perhaps. She was downing a beer. She had her head back, and she had the beer tilted into her mouth, and she was sucking it back for all she could. Got the last drop, and she gets in my car and says, Sunshine Lane. I don't know where Sunshine Lane is, so I'm looking in the map book, and I say, I don't have it in my map book. She says, well, don't worry, I know where it is. She says, it's on the reserve. Now, this reserve is out near the airport. So that was another $55 fare. So then, as I was coming back from that, there was a bit of fog. My window was fogging up, and I had to actually turn my wipers on because the dew fall was so heavy. And my back window was all fogged up, and I had to put the defogger on, and a few times I had to turn my wipers on to clean the dew fall off the windshield. Anyways, I got back into town, and you know, surprisingly, it kept me busy enough that I made another $100 in town the next 3 hours or so, between 1 and 3. How did that happen? Anyways, I did quite well. And then I was sitting in the parking lot again. I did not get to read my book. I'm on the same page I was on Wednesday night. Just because I got, you know, I was busy. I was busy on Thursday. Who would have thought? And I didn't go downtown. I never worked downtown. I stayed in a residential area. This area right here, kind of suburban, kind of, you know, it's not the downtown core. And I made good money. And then I drove one of our call takers home, and she said that she took a lot of calls, a lot of time calls in the morning. And I said, well, that's nice. Hopefully I'll get one. Sure enough, 10 minutes to 4, click, 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 beep. Get this call to an address that I don't get sent to often. It's obviously people who don't take cabs that often. And sure enough, it's 2 women with their bags going to the airport. Another $55 fare. And I didn't even care if it was on a credit card. I've got part of my lease for tonight even paid on credit and debit. So I can kind of coast tonight because some $30 of my lease is already paid for. And I've got about as much money on at this point in the week as I would normally have at this point in the week, even though I had Monday off. I don't know, maybe it's because the Greek took a week off. The Greek just has this incredible luck. He's this other cab driver. He keeps getting these runs to the airport and trips to the ferry, and he just keeps lucking out. And maybe because he's not on the road this week, I'm getting all the luck for a change. So I hope in one way, I hope the Greek never comes back. In another way, well, you know, it'd be nice to see him again. He's popular with customers. They like him. If you're familiar with the TV show The Beachcombers back in the 70s, think Nick Adonidas. He's just like Nick Adonidas, except older. But even more Greek because he's always wearing the Greek fishing captain hat. Anyway, so much for caricatures of other cab drivers. What's my update here? I'm 4th. Come on, click, 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 click. Okay, tick, tick. I'm 1st in the zone. I'm 1st in the favorite zone I like to work in. So it shouldn't take me too long to get a call and take somebody somewhere. Meanwhile, I will grab my book, which is the same one I was starting to read last week. Didn't get much reading in at all. And I'll come back about 11 hours hence and tell you how my night went tonight. It's now 6:38 in the morning. And I guess it's 12 hours since I talked to you. Started off kind of slow. Started off kind of disappointing. And a kink in my neck. I must have slept wrong or something. Slept wrong, I mean, during the daytime yesterday. I fell asleep watching a video, YouTube video. Tonight, okay, it got busy around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then I was going full pin one after another, and it was going really, really good there for a while. And then at midnight it died. Between midnight and it took me between midnight and almost 4 to make another $100 on top of what I had made before that. I had one long one out past the Western Communities to a place that's close to what's called the 17 Mile House, if you know where that is. It seemed to be that there were a lot of girls going to visit guys on this shift, with the guys paying for the cab. I don't know if money exchanged hands, but it was some booty college going on there. Quite a few people got laid. I made some profit. In fact, at one point I got a text message on my phone telling me that if I'm in such and such part of town, come and get me. And the me that I was supposed to get is the owner of this cab. He was out. So from the first message he gave me, I loaded, and I had like $25 fare, and I connected with another $25 fare, and then I connected with another $10 fare, so I made like $60 in the hour after he texted me. And then I finally said, look, you know, okay, I'll come and get you. So I ended up making my way towards him, and I had to reject like 3 calls on the way, just because it was so busy at that time. I was around 11. Anyway, it didn't really get busy again. I guess it was 3:30 I got back into town after taking those 2 chicks out the 17 Mile House. Now it's, yeah, like I said, it's 6:42. I was getting about 1 fare an hour since 3:30. Well, maybe a little more than that. Yeah, approximately. 4 fares. 6:25 I did that. 6:25. I'm tired. I was actually reading. I did read some of my book. Yes, The Temporal Void from Peter F. Hamilton. I'm getting into it now. I'm really getting into it. I'm about 150 pages in. It's getting interesting. It's too difficult to describe what's going on in the book. Suffice it to say that I'm enjoying it. Looking forward to having a drink when I get home, because it's my weekend as soon as I park this pig, and I'll be parking it real soon now. The gas station is 2 blocks away. I guess I had a good enough night. Maybe not. Maybe there were too many and too long quiet spots in there, but I still think I did all right. I've got more Interac than I need to pay the lease, so the owner's going to owe me some money. So I'll be getting a paycheck like on Monday, on top of what money I take home tonight. It's my weekend. Hope yours is better than mine. If it is, I think you're going to be having a great weekend. Gas station's right here. I'm just going to pull in like so.